Hey, Slick Talkers, thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. And I know that if you love this show, you'll also love my morning show called Good Morning Hospitality with my co hosts Michael Golden and Brandy Canali, as we spend 30 minutes every Monday morning to dive into the industry's top latest news and trending topics. So go check it out on wherever you find your podcasts at Good Morning Hospitality. And you can live stream with us on Monday mornings on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and of course, YouTube. Now, I hope you enjoy this episode.
Welcome to Slick Talk, the hospitality podcast where we discuss all things hospitality, hotels, and business. You can find us online at slicktalkthepodcast.com and on every podcast listening platform.
Welcome back to this episode of Slick Talk, the hospitality podcast. Just want to give you guys a quick recap of everything that's happened. I haven't recorded an episode in like almost 3 weeks. So the last episode I did was with Drew Glover, the CEO and co-founder of Welcome, which is a curated welcome box for your guest, whether you're in a hotel or vacation rental market, or even just a person likes to host parties, or maybe if you're a real estate agent, you give a welcome box to your clients. Anyways, this box is curated specifically to your brand, more like a white label marketing box that you can put all your info. If you're like a hotel or vacation rental owner, you can curate the information that goes on this box with your logo and everything that you need to ensure that your guests don't have any questions and have a smooth arrival to your property. It's all about first impressions. So first impressions are huge. The average human takes about 7 seconds, and then they form their first opinion about whether it's a property or a person or a situation. It takes about 7 seconds for a person to analyze that through their brain and through their processing, however they do it, to form their first opinion. And first opinions are everything. You want your guests or your staff or your clients to feel impressed. Let's be honest. We want them to be impressed with our product, with our property. And so Welcome Box is a curated box just for that. There's amenities and snacks that you can choose from. You can also, cater it to the season or the area you're in. And so we did a giveaway. We gave away 3 boxes, and Molly in Tennessee was the winner. So she's receiving 3 free welcome boxes for her to use in whatever way she wants. Me and her talked via email, and she has a lot of friends and family that like to stay at her house or her property. And so she always usually caters to them, their favorite drinks or snacks or foods. And so Welcome Box is going to be a great way for her to enhance that experience just a little bit more by putting the Wi-Fi password on there or whatever else she may feel like she needs to do to really make a good first impression. So I think, with that, if you guys are in that market, if you're a hotel manager or a Airbnb, VRBO, any kind of, vacation rental property management company, real estate agent, this is a great box for you to use and to really elevate your marketing skills and your marketing into a different level that most people aren't quite on yet. It's popular, of course, to have like water bottles in the room or, certain like welcome books at Airbnbs or vacation rentals that go over all the information. But as Drew and I kind of discovered and talked, this is definitely a way to go a little bit above and beyond that to make your guests' arrival, especially after a long journey, a long travel day, whether, they travel 2 to 3 hours or a whole day, or maybe they've been traveling for a week and they're just getting, tired and burnt out. This is a great box, and I love it. It was honestly like my favorite episode of the whole Slick Talk seasons I've ever done. I've done 2 seasons. We're at 1,800 listeners around the world, 80% in the United States and 20 outside of the country. So pretty amazing. Excuse me. But I just thought, if you guys are interested, check them out. Go to getwelcomebox.com and you can see all the cool stuff that they're doing. Check them out on social media as well. So this episode is really going to be a quick industry update episode. Like I said, I haven't done an episode in like 2 weeks since that last episode aired about 2 weeks ago. And I just felt like it was probably time to come out with another episode. I've been super busy. I just got a promotion at my current work. I was going to leave the current area for a different job opportunity, but I'm in love with where I'm at. I love the company I'm with, and so I decided to stay and accept a promotion. So I've been really busy just learning the new job and getting, making sure that the transition was smooth and efficient as a hotel front office and marketing manager. It's really important to dedicate that time to your staff and to the property as well as the guests. And so I've been really busy with that. So thank you guys for your patience if anybody's ever been waiting. Also, a quick note, I create my podcast through Anchor, which is one of my sponsors. You will also hear a mid-roll ad sponsorship placement in this episode that kind of just goes over what Anchor is and how you can create your own podcast. Yes, it's free, it's easy, and I love it. But with that, on any platform, I don't care what platform you listen on, I have over 10 different platforms, not including my website. And I actually found out from a friend another platform that I didn't know I was on, but I am. So there's like 12 plus different platforms I'm on. So any platform that you're on, you can go to the description of that podcast episode, and there's a link at the bottom. And this link, you can send me a voice message just by clicking it. And I think you download the app and create a quick profile. But I really want to hear from you guys. I've been getting emails and other types of correspondence, but I would really love to have a voice message sent to me if you have any comments or maybe an episode idea or just an opinion about the current episode that you listen to. I would love to get those voice comments and those voice messages. So go ahead and click that link and it will send it directly to me and I will listen. And you can even get featured on my episode just because of that voice message. So with today and the episode that I'm doing, it's just a quick industry update, And there's a couple things I wanted to touch base on. I'm not going to touch into too much detail on one of them. It's, of course, Marriott. So a lot of you know I come from a Marriott property, and I originally started with one of their autograph collection hotels, which autograph collection for a Marriott just means that there's no other hotel like it in the world. It's unique in its own way. It's not like a specific brand like a Courtyard or anything else like that. It's unique. It's independently owned as well and operated, but they have the Marriott reward system and they incorporate with the Marriott standards. So Marriott is also getting into the extended stay / vacation side. I think Hyatt also is one of the brands that has a Hyatt house where it's technically a hotel with a bunch of rooms and all that stuff, but it's actually a really big house and they house a lot of their clients and their guests there. And it's kind of like a vacation rental. Very unique in that way. It's a full suite where you pretty much feel like you're in somebody else's home, but as under the Hyatt brand. Marriott is diving into that as well, which, of course, if you listen to any previous episodes, I expected one of the big name brands, whether it was going to be Marriott or Hyatt or Quality Inn or, like the Choice Hotel brands, I kind of expected, Holiday Inns as well. I was thinking they would be one of the bigger names to jump on that bandwagon, but Marriott, of course, takes the lead and took it. So that was kind of expected. More details to come to that soon. I have a bunch of articles I read on it, and it just was something I knew hoteliers were going to get into. It's stupid not to after the whole debate with Airbnb and just the regulations that are allowed for vacation rentals and hotels and yada, yada, yada. But if you follow my Facebook page, it's Slick Talk, the Hospitality Podcast on Facebook, you will see that I, posted something about Taco Bell. And Taco Bell is opening a hotel. Yes, This is not a gag. It's definitely a marketing stunt, but it's not a gag. They're pretty much taking a hotel that already exists, and they are going to pretty much, the hotel is going to withdraw their brand name in a way. There's not many details on the hotel. It doesn't give the hotel name, but it's going to be in Palm Springs, California. And as of August 9th, I believe, hotel will be the branded like property marketing, where they're going to churn the hotel into a Taco Bell hotel. It's called The Bell, a Taco Bell hotel and resort. August 9th in Palm Springs, California. Normally, this isn't something I would usually cover, but I see a trend as a data analytic for the industry of hotels and vacation rentals. I see this going to be the first step of many. I feel like not only Taco Bell, but other brands, whether it's in the fast food or coffee or any kind of market like that, is going to jump in and really try to use their reservation email confirmation. There should be a notification, and if they book over the phone, then there should be some verbal communication as well. So yeah, no one should be surprised. That is the golden rule, especially when you're keeping your whole operation going, whether you take it section by section or, slowly but surely. So also, I don't know for the people that have like big groups, but any property that has any kind of groups, make sure that you're working around their sessions or their breakouts or their times that they're using, like the meeting spaces, because no one wants to be in a meeting or a phone conference or speaking during the middle of jackhammering and walls being knocked down and trucks backing up and all the other stuff that goes on. So work around it. Just sacrifice a few hours in your morning or afternoon to really let them get the value that they've already paid for and work in peace or do whatever they need to do in peace. Very little does it happen that actually construction managers or even projects such as a renovation get stopped for a couple of days because of this. It's very rare, but most places are able to put, a shutdown for a few hours, wait till the guests are out of their conference or meeting room or whatever it is, and continue on until, early evening and, so on and so forth. Yeah, so cover all your bases, staff, guests, third parties. Oh my gosh. There's so many nightmares. I've, coming from a hotel that I never had to manage to extranet or a third-party booking such as Booking.com or Expedia or any of those, chains of third-party reservation bookers or OTAs, online travel agencies. Going from a property where I never had to touch it, never had to worry about it. I said, a guest had to make any changes. Sorry, I can't do that. You'll have to do it through them. Directly going to a property where I'm the one that controls that, and I'm the one that updates, our third-party booking channels and make sure that our whole team from the interior side to the exterior side, whether it's a revenue manager or, third-party booking and contracts like that, where we pay commissions on, that they're aware and that they're communicating that with the guests and that, we manage our inventory correctly and appropriately. That way there's no issues or hiccups when it comes to revenue and guest experience. We never want to ruin the guest experience, but even if they're on Booking or Expedia and they didn't book direct, like we want to make sure that we retain that business. So communication with those parties are huge. And like I said, sales communicates with their staff along the way as well. A cool tool though is to use your social media as a great way to hype up the project and to hype up the guests that have stayed with you and look forward to staying with you again in the future. I manage the social media at a property that I work at, and I help, some vacation rental owners with theirs. And the best thing, like when we have projects, like sometimes they'd be dreading because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of time and energy, but just pull out the phone, take a couple of pictures, add your graphic or logo, like do whatever you can and make it a fun way to hype up the guests that are going to stay with you. Like even send out emails and e-blasts and if you have that capability, most people can send out texts and have mobile apps where they can notify. And so it's really cool to kind of build up the value that you've been putting in, because you're obviously, as an owner or some kind of operator, you're putting in a lot of time, money, and effort into making sure that your property really is above and beyond, not only in its service and its satisfaction scores, but also in its appearance and the amenities that you're able to offer your guests. So I always use social media for a lot of updates and just cool stuff, because it does build up a hype, and it does kind of bring a sort of community with your people that really follow your property. It sounds weird, because when I talked about hotels with my friends or family, they're not as excited as I am. But when we have guests that have stayed there since they were, let's say their first marriage, or not their first marriage, but their first anniversary, or like they brought their kids there every year and the kids are now grown up and they come there every year with their kids, whatever it is, there's a history. And I don't care what property you are, there's usually a history with guests, with the business travelers, leisure, corporate, you name it. There is a cool sense of community with your repeat customers and repeat guests. So I just use it as a tool, have fun with it. And, every bump along the way can be resolved as long as you follow these steps, really good planning and, section by section, good communication and transparency, and then also using your social media to your advantage. Now, this is the part where I kind of geek and nerd out a little bit. I am a huge revenue and data fan. I love to see the numbers. I want to see the pace and the pickup and the ADR and the RevPAR and all the other things that go into the exciting back end of operating a hotel and a property. But revenue managing during a renovation. The cool thing is, you're going to have maybe half, if not more, of your revenue, or not revenue, but inventory offline and unoccupied. The cool thing is, as you're building up that hype, obviously while you're under renovation, you're not going to have the crazy insane amount of rates, because nobody wants to pay $500 a night for a hotel that they hear jackhammers and sledgehammers and trucks backing up. But the cool thing about building up the hype is really that once the project is done, once the excitement has reached its peak and the ribbon cuts again and you reopen again to your whole full property, whether you've added a restaurant or done a pool or done a complete remodel of your rooms, the hype goes up. That means the rates, the occupancy, and the overall, I think, even guest satisfaction scores, which, as I've been talking to other hoteliers and just people in the industry, a lot of people, they care about reviews, but I think they need to care about them more, because when your reviews are up, you'll see that your numbers are up, especially with your satisfaction in your team and their performance, and with the revenue and upgrades and all other streams of income will just raise right with it. And so it definitely will show you the type of value that having a renovated property, whether it's 2020, 2019, or 2025, 2050, whatever the project takes place, it's important. It packs a lot of value, and you'll see that in your revenue numbers with the reopening, the reveal, the excitement of the brand new property. So that's just kind of my quick tidbit, my quick episode. This was actually kind of a really fun one for me to create, because I've been under a few construction projects with hotels and like vacation rentals, but to really dive in and kind of think about the things that go into it is really exciting for me. And I just like being able to create this kind of content for you guys. So I want to throw it out to you. The podcast is actually just 5 listeners and subscribers away from reaching 2,400. So I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about renovations and project management and all the other things that go into it? Do you think it's worth doing a whole shutdown? Do you do section by section? What have your hotels, have your properties, have your friends, family's properties done in order to succeed in renovations, and as well as operating while maintaining, budget, scheduling, revenue, all the other stuff that go into it. So I'd love to know your guys' thoughts and ideas. Again, really exciting stuff. I have a guest speaker that I'm talking to tomorrow, Tuesday the 9th. Really excited to have her and the company on the show. It's going to be one of my biggest ones. So guys, keep your fingers crossed for the episode to come sooner than later. Actually, this is going to be my first guest speaker on the show that is actually all the way in New York. I've never done an East Coast recording, so this is going to be my first. Really excited. If you are a design person, just so you know, interior designers, exterior designers, floor plan design, whatever it is, I'm looking for you. I want you on the show. I want to dive into what it takes and what it looks like from start to finish with a renovation or a redesign, rebranding. So that's my only update. Look out for Slick Talk, the Hospitality Podcast YouTube channel is created. This video will be on there. I'm excited. It'll be on the website as well. So give that a like and a subscribe. Follow us, subscribe on Apple iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google. Check it out on the website. Subscribe on there as well. Slick Talk, the hospitalitypodcast.com. And I look forward to seeing you guys and talking to you guys very, very soon.
Thank you so much for listening. We love your support and want to provide the best we can to all our listeners. So please find us online, social media, and on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast.
Plastic box that you plug in, and it includes the first year of service. So we operated basically as a software as a service for SaaS model for all of our products. So it's $49 for the first year, and then it's going to be $99 for subsequent years to continue the service after that. And so, yeah, as you mentioned, with the $20 off code, you could basically get a website for $129. And we offer free shipping if you buy 2 or more devices as well.
Awesome. Well, I definitely would love to dive more into the data side on just the overall, because I'm a big revenue management data analytic fan when it comes to the industry. What have you seen with that side of, let's say, independent hotels or restaurants specifically? Because with my company, we have a virtual reservation system that does track the amount of reservations and phone calls from Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, right? So we give our clients a report on how many seats or reservations we booked, which equals the equivalent amount of data and revenue for the property, whether it's a restaurant or hotel. And then, so what can owners use Party Squasher devices for when it comes to that side of specific revenue management? Are they, in a sense, they can see year over year data that can plan the foot traffic and get, I guess, estimated of arrivals and departures or stays through reservation seats, and they can plan accordingly, is kind of what I'm getting from that. And so what does the data from Party Squasher or BlueFox look like in order to plan that accordingly? Is it user friendly? Is it pretty in depth where somebody who's new to maybe dabbling with technology or all this kind of information, would it be technically hard for them to use or to understand?
Yeah, so we've made it so it's incredibly easy for even people who are not in the sort of IT or data segments at all. For enterprise uses that you're mentioning, like businesses outside of the general industry, we would recommend using our BlueFox Count product. That's the one that offers you, not only the sort of real-time data that you would get with Party Squasher, but gives you all the historical trends and gives you all the deeper analytics like dwell times and current visits and things like that. So for that, basically, everything's hosted on the BlueFox cloud. So all of our customers basically have access to their account with any internet browser. You would just basically go to our website and then type in your account credentials, and then you could instantly access it from everywhere. So it's great in that sense, in that you don't need any sort of dedicated hardware beyond the device itself, and you can access the analytics anywhere. And then it's just sort of a real simple user dashboard the widget based, where you can select, which info is going to be most relevant to you. You can look at the time periods that, are, interesting for you to be considering at that point. And then all the changes basically are made online. So you get instant access to the analytics. So essentially, as soon as you plug in the device, you're going to start collecting data immediately. And then from the BlueFox Engage side, so that's the proximity-based text messaging, that happens to that same dashboard. So it's setting up a campaign is as easy as dragging in and dropping a photo, which could be a coupon, for example, or could be some other promotional photo that you want to send, typing in the text that you want to send with that text message, and then just scheduling it, basically saying from Tuesday from noon to 3 p.m. I want message A to go out, and then from 3 p.m. I want message B. So you can really target people at specific times of day, days of week, based upon what you're trying to sell at that time or what services you're trying to push at that time, things like that. So it's super easy. Any manager level employee should be able to handle it and set it up and use it on a day-to-day basis.
That's awesome. Well, I think this is definitely kind of I guess the best word to say is the rise of technology and the best way of marketing, because everyone has a smartphone device or a laptop, and whether it's a phone or a tablet, you now have access to the customer in a real-time situation. And I think I think BlueFox is a great way to use it. So I'm just really appreciative of you being on the show. Is there anything exciting coming up with BlueFox itself? Anything that you want any of the listeners to to listen to or know about you guys before we end the show?
Yeah. So we are basically always improving the product, in a couple different ways. We're always planning ahead for sort of the next generation of phones and services. So now that 5G is coming out, we're actively planning to be able to handle that easily. We are in the process of completely redoing our dashboard to make it a lot more user friendly. And to make it, very, very customizable in the exact way that you want to see data presented to you. So, if you do have an interest beyond the sort of basic party squasher needs of vacation rentals, which you buy that device direct from our website, I encourage you to go to BlueFox.io and just basically fill out the contact form there, and we'd be happy to talk to you about any you're doing with any other hospitality businesses or any other business that might have use for this, for either BlueFox or BlueFox Engage, or in a lot of cases both. And we'd be happy to sort of see what your use case is and talk to you about what the features are that we could potentially help with.
Awesome. Well, I love it, and so I will continue to rave about BlueFox and Party Squasher. And again, really appreciate you being on the show. And I think for anybody who's listening, definitely check out. I'll even put a link in the website and everything like that to get you directly to Party Squasher's information and all the device hookup with the promo code and everything. So Bart, again, you're the man. Thank you for being on Slick Talk, and definitely we're going to keep in contact and possibly do another episode in the future as new things pop off with BlueFox.
Sounds great. Yeah, we'll be sure to keep you posted.
All right, my man. Well, thank you. Of course. Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in today's episode, guys. I'm very thankful for the love and support I've been getting with the podcast as it's grown exponentially in the last few months, and especially in the last few weeks. If you want to learn more about Party Squasher, you can check it out more on the website, slicktalkthepodcast.com, or you can go to partysquasher.com as well and bluefox.io, and that will take you to all the information about where you can learn more about their services and devices. Now, for the special promo, as you heard in the episode, any of our listeners that use the promo code SlickTalk, all caps, will get $20 off their purchase of a Party Squasher device. And if you order more than 2 devices, you'll get free shipping. So go ahead. That is good for the whole year. So make sure that you, if you're in the industry, whether it's a restaurant, hotel, vacation rental, casino, or more, are taking advantage of this awesome deal. If you guys have any questions, you can reach out to me directly. My email is on the website and contact information as well. I would love to hear your thoughts, and enjoy your rest of the week.
Thank you so much for listening. We love your support and want to provide the best we can to all our listeners. So please find us online, social media, and on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast.
What's up, everybody? If you've gotten this far into the episode of Slick Talk, the Hospitality Podcast, then you are amazing, and thank you so much for tuning in. We want to send you two places really quickly. If you can, check out the show notes and click the hospitality.fm link. Check out all of our other shows on the podcast network. And don't forget, if you have someone that you want to hear on the podcast, then fill out the guest fill out form so that way we can get them on the show. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy another episode of Slick Talk, the Hospitality Podcast.